Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Midnight Mystic. Welcome back to my Mystic Circle. To all of you who have been here before, I appreciate you returning. And let's dive in. So today I feel really called to do some zodiac readings. They're going to be by random. I'm just going to roll my dice for it and see what comes out. I have a few that I have a feeling are going to want attention sooner than others. So let's just see if that's right and dive right in. Join me for a few deep belly breaths, hand on the heart, hand on your stomach. Breathe into that a few times for me while I say a prayer. Thank you so much. Amen. Okay, here we go. We have Leo and the Sun. So double confirmation because we got both the Leo on the zodiac dice, and then we also got the Sun, which is also Leo. So we're doing Leo, I guess. Let's clear this space. That's interesting because I was feeling a lot of yellow before starting this, and I actually lit a yellow candle, and my Palo Santo is a solar chakra colored one. I'm feeling a major shift and transition for you of some sort, but it also feels like not solidifying, but securing something. Feeling securing something. Okay. Cleanse you. The way that I like to use my palo is I will circle around my chakras. I will also hold it in front of my heart chakra like this. And I will grab the smoke and pull it to each one of my energy centers. Or if it's a themed like this where it's yellow, I would use this to circle around my solar chakra and cleanse there. I do feel like there's something with the solar chakra for you. So I will also pull a soul and chakra card, see what it says there. But I hold this in front of me and I will grab the smoke and pull it over my head a few times like a veil, just to help clear that spiritual space, connect with the crown chakra, make sure the channel's clear. So let's actually start with that soul card for Leo. Oh, split right open to it. Solar plexus chakra. If you do not know, your solar plexus chakra is the third chakra up from your root chakra. The third chakra up is located around your navel. The energy comes both in front of and behind. So think of it like cones or like a vortex type of shape. So especially with heart chakra opening, if you've been here for that with me, you would visualize a rose that is not yet bloomed, starting to spin into bloom and open up. So if you can visualize that, that is similar to what the chakras are like. But for the solar plexus, I like to either connect with it by just visualizing into the yellow chakra, and then also at the same time imagine eating yellow food. Imagine eating a banana at the same time that you're focused on that. It just really tunes you in when you have that double connection, where you're not only like engaging other senses beyond just the mind with the visualization of it. Otherwise, you can imagine, and I learned this from someone who works at one of the holistic institutes, but you hold in your hand like a crystal ball with the color of the chakra that you're trying to work on, that you're trying to heal or balance or purge. And you imagine this chakra. So if you imagine that as yours, what do you see? Do you see a dull yellow? Do you see bright yellow? Is it cloudy anywhere? Are there dark spots anywhere? And you think about clearing that out. Just think about even imagining smoke cleansing over that. I'll give you a better visualization. So here we are, a Leo reading. We're learning about how to clear chakras, guys. So if you can imagine, this is the chakra you're working on, okay? So let's connect with your solar plexus chakra around the navel. It's yellow, and so that's what you're going to imagine, this yellow ball of energy coming from your solar plexus. And you would imagine it as this crystal ball. You would imagine smoke rolling either through the ball or around the ball. You can even actually, I'll set this up so you can see. So you would imagine the smoke cleansing the chakra. It's even good if you can get a guide or a map of which directions that the chakras turn, clockwise or counterclockwise. So you would have your yellow ball of light, and you're just visualizing this. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but you have a yellow ball of light, and this is your chakra. And you are going to visualize what that looks like. Find places that are cloudy, find places that have stagnant energy, find places that there might feel like weird attachments or attachment cords to things that could be associated with the chakra. So let's say, for example, you're working on the sacral chakra. This is your creative center. This is your pleasure center, if I can say, you would get what I'm saying, okay? If you feel an attachment cord to another person in your sacral chakra, that could be someone that you've been intimate with before. And if that is an old cord, then that could be something to work on. And you don't have to aggressively cut energy cords with people. I don't actually even suggest that. I would ask your spirit guides for help disconnecting from that or detaching from it. It does not mean that you're necessarily letting that person go out of your life. It doesn't mean you can ask for the cord to be cleansed. You don't have to cut the cord, but if there is an attachment that you don't want to have to another person, then you can just gently feel that cord and take it and grab it and just slowly pull it away from you and release. Release with love, release with, respect for whatever connection that you did have to that person, release in a gentle way. And if you're asking your guides to help you with it, you can just say, please help me cut this cord in the most gentle, releasing way that you can, and with harm to none, and in the most gentle way for you to be able to detach from that person also, because normally having an attachment to someone, there was something there that did attach you to them in the first place. So energy work doesn't have to be aggressive. For me, energy work is never done, they say not to drink in a bad mood, not to have alcohol in a bad mood. I feel like that about energy work, unless it's an emergency situation where you need to do cleansing and grounding. I feel like energy work can be done when you are centered, when you're grounded, when you're ready to actually release, not just because you're upset with someone, but when you're actually ready to release with love in a gentle way, when you're ready for it. But if there's any stagnant energy, if there's any energy that you can sense in your chakra that's off, this is a good way to cleanse it, is just to visualize some type of smoke cleansing. Like let's say sage. I want to say cedar for some reason. Palo Santo, whatever you have available. It could be incense. you don't even have to have it physically with you. Just imagine it. You're going to visualize it cleansing out that chakra, cleansing out any areas. Don't rush it. Just let it be cleansed until it is bright yellow, until it feels good, until it's energized, until it feels right and you feel connected with it. And it's a simple check-in that you can do with yourself too, is you can just lay down, take some deep belly breaths, like I said in the beginning of the video. Put a hand over your heart, put a hand over your belly, and just breathe into that belly really deep, and then all the way out. That's actually how I prepare for my readings, is I do about 8 to 10 belly breaths and connect, and I pray, and then I say my intention with you and for this reading, and I get to it. And normally that works really well. But if you are trying to clear chakras, I love that. Just lay on the ground, lay someplace flat, and feel up your chakras one by one, imagining this ball of light. Root chakra, you're going to imagine the red ball. You're going to imagine clearing that out until it is bright red. It feels good. It's energized. Then you move up to the sacral. So then you have the orange, then the soul, you have the yellow, the heart, you have green, and you have pink. You have the higher heart chakra there also. You have your throat chakra of blue aqua, is kind of how I imagine it. And then you have your third eye of a beautiful, like indigo blue. And then the crown chakra is an ultraviolet purple, just beautiful. So there is a little exercise. I know that was a little long speaking, but there's a little exercise for any Leos who maybe feel like, what did I say here? That I felt like you were trying to maybe stabilize something in your life, or trying to, maybe it is a business project. It feels like something that you do have your sights on, or something that's come to your awareness more recently, you want to actually implement into your life and give some stability and structure to. And maybe your solar plexus chakra is off. Maybe you've been pulsing back and forth with your willpower or with acting on this. But let's see, let's just dive right in. We're not going to dive, we're going to dive deeper now. We'll get the pyrite out, since pyrite is a Leo stone. If you do not know, I love this. Actually, labradorite is also Leo stone. This is a purple sunset labradorite, if it's hitting the light in any way. And actually, smoky quartz may be a Leo stone. Don't hold that one to me though, but I know that labradorite and pyrite are. Okay, chakra card. I'm going to label this as a June mid-month check-in. Mostly I'm checking in because a lot of the energy feels like it's changed a lot since the Gemini moon this month. But this will be a timeless reading for whenever you find it. It doesn't feel specifically attached to timing yet. I don't typically take reversals, but the throat chakra reverse does kind of say to me maybe there's a blockage there. Earth grounding. With that earth grounding card, I feel like whatever it is that you are working on at this time, it feels like you're going to be speaking to someone else about this idea. It even looks like they're handing between, it looks like a solar plexus ball. Then, and it's also like sun and moon energy. I don't know if Pisces is involved in this. I could even be feeling Cancer here. It is sort of like you're laying the foundation for something, but it's not even foundation. It looks like roots. So putting down roots. Maybe this is already in action, but it feels like if it is in action, it'd be at the beginning stages, because it feels like you're going to be speaking to someone about this. And I think that that beginning was just prepping you for whatever this conversation is or whatever you're communicating about. And maybe if there has been a block within the throat chakra, since this came out reversed, if there has been some sort of block with the throat chakra, starting from the bottom, I just heard starting from the bottom, now we're here. Okay, but starting from the bottom, going up will help cleanse. So if like I explained with the chakras, and it makes sense now why I felt the need to even go through all of that with you, was because if you start from the bottom going up, cleansing your chakras, the solar plexus being the third and the throat chakra being the fifth, it still causes blocks because of the way energy moves through the body from the bottom up and out. Start from the bottom. So if you have, even if you have a block in the crown chakra, you can start from the bottom and move up, because likely there is some energy blockages or difficulties further down within the chakra system. You can also just go straight to the chakra, but I feel like even just a check-in on your way to work through that, like if you worked from the bottom up, like with the crystal ball that I said, if you worked up and just did a check-in on your way to the one that you're working on, that could be a good idea. I'm not saying you have to do a full-blown chakra thing. You can also just listen to like solfeggio frequencies. You can listen to different types of binaural beats. You can listen to, you can surround yourself with the color yellow. You can wear yellow. You can eat yellow food. There is a lot of ways to balance these chakras. There's certain breathing exercises, there is certain yoga, there's a lot. So just find what works for you when you're doing your chakras. I just felt like sharing the visualization. We've got the divine rising. Oh, we've got a cat here. Hi, buddy boy. Thank you for not messing up the table. Are you just gonna be the channel cat? I guess you are. I guess you are. You're just part of the show, huh? Regeneration reversed. The cosmic heart reversed. I don't feel like they are reversed though. I felt like the throat chakra was meant to be, but I'm not taking the rest. If this is about you and another person, I will get a read on the other person also. But this feels like focused on you so far. Some of you may have had experience recently, an experience recently where you saw a spirit, or you thought you saw a spirit. I'm even getting that someone took a photo recently and saw something funny in the photo, maybe where it didn't look like a full spirit, but where part of the photo was cloudy or moving in a weird misty way. And I do feel like you're right, that was a spirit. Regeneration, I feel scarab beetle from this, or I'm getting iridescence. I'm also still seeing this connection here between the solar plexus and the throat chakra. And I feel like because it feels like you're about to communicate with someone, that we have an expansion there. This does look like my hands that were holding that yellow ball. So I feel like that's saying that the solar plexus cleansing and clearing will be successful for you. There is for sure an awakening here. And when I think of Leos, I do think of big-hearted. I think of compassionate. They have one of the most beautiful hearts in the zodiac, in my opinion. Also Cancer, but for the fire signs, I do feel that Leo has a really big, beautiful heart. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, someone does want to talk a little bit more about the spirit that you either saw or was in a photo. This could also be upcoming, but I have the feeling that it's past in time already. Tell me about the spirit. I'm smelling rose really strong. Change. This is our second owl now. This is our second owl. For me personally, they can be a nocturnal omen, but for me personally, owls are my ancestor. Sorry, something else was coming through. Owls are my ancestor animal whenever I see them. So I feel like you did see something, I think, around the Gemini moon. I don't know if you felt a shift in consciousness somehow, if you felt a shift in your awareness, or you gained some type of wisdom about a change. This could be a change to something that you've been involved in. It could be a change in something that you've already, something from the past that you've been connected with still. Okay, community and web weaving. Spiders are a sign of the divine feminine. Remembrance, yep. So something from the past. Jack-o'-lanterns are also traditionally protective. These are interesting coming out together. I feel like maybe you were blinded by things that have to do with the root chakra. So stability, safety, security, foundations, things like that. I feel like you were just solely focused on that. That's kind of all you can see. And then I do feel like something kind of opened where you gained wisdom of some sort. And again, this looks like the yellow energy ball, the yellow chakra ball. The spider is also a weaver, and we have another feminine here, more feminine energy. So I feel like it feels like an expansion, and I think that we just had something happen with Jupiter and Leo, and Jupiter is all about expansion, and it does look like this theme is following through. Maybe for Leo, the Jupiter was expansion within community, expansion within networking, or the web. I'm hearing the web that you're weaving for yourself. Okay, what other cards do we want to use? What other cards do we want to use, huh? What do we want to use? Yeah, let's get more about this expansion. I don't do a lot of business and career readings, but when they come out, they come out. I will get career path readings and things like that when the soul is involved, when the spirit is involved in it, invested in it, more along the lines of your journey, less of your day-to-day job and career. But this does feel like something to do with, it maybe feels like something to do with business and career. Tell me more for Leo. The spirit you saw was also not malevolent, or yeah, it wasn't a bad spirit. It's interesting how they're all coming out reverse. Yeah, more about nets, more about web weaving, networking. Okay. I got a couple things here. So at first I heard where your heart feels at home. That could have been like a newer revelation or something that you gained wisdom about, is where your heart feels at home. So think about where does your heart feel at home? With who does your heart feel at home? What environment? What location? What place? Where do you feel at home? Because there's something significant about that. So I think you have been preparing something, or actually, I'm getting that something was prepared for you. In spirit, something was prepared for you. The net is getting cast over you. Don't let this scare you, but I actually feel like the net is being cast over you in your sleep. And courage to step into life. There's that yellow swirling ball again. And here. I just love it when the signs repeat. I feel like maybe a little bit of ego was in the way. There could have been a shattering of reality at some point. Maybe you were disconnected from your spirituality a bit. Meditation is suggested here. I feel like you could be an overthinker at night, and so meditation at night could be actually really beneficial for you. Okay, I got up to stop the banging in the background. A song called 100-Yard Dash came on. So maybe you feel like you're moving quickly towards whatever it is that you are planning on, or that just came into your awareness. It does feel like it's been in the works. I feel like it's been somewhere either in the subconscious or in thought form, but this hasn't actually with the throat chakra and with the solar plexus, this hasn't actually come into action yet. And it does feel like you need to speak to someone. But I also lost my camera clicker on the way. So maybe you feel like you lost something important to you, or lost something that you need, or that you feel like you need, or that just makes life a little bit easier for some reason. But I did get a couple decks that I don't normally get out, because I do feel like this might have to do with planning or business in some type of way. And business doesn't have to mean a shift in career. The way that I'm picking it up, it could be anything. It could be collaboration with another person. It could be about a home. It could be about a plan, a big plan being put into action. It could be about a business, but let's keep going. Let's see. Face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Especially if you feel like you're watching over children, but I do feel like you have an angel, a spirit guide with you that is watching over you with that netcaster feeling. And then where did I feel the other spirit come through? Here. These three are why I'm picking this up. You also have bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you into a higher vibration that reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. Pay yourself first. Make yourself the most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have the savings to invest in your present and your future. Okay. I do feel worries that whatever this move or transition is for you, whatever you're working on, that there is some fears of financial instability, maybe financial loss, or making a financial mistake that could affect you and people that you care for. Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose the fun and meaningful activity that you'll look forward to exercising, and it becomes its own reward. And I do feel like that's a push towards nature, though. Something in nature, you need to get out a little bit more. I'm feeling timing now. I am feeling that in the spring, you were starting to kind of plant seeds, maybe even unknowingly. You were starting to kind of plant seeds. And now that they are growing, now that it has transitioned from a spring to summer period of your life, it doesn't have to be actually, because this is a timeless reading, but as you're transitioning to a time of spring in your life, moving into summer, it feels like the seeds that you planted are coming to a place of growth. Like what you've planted is coming to fruition. And then so I feel like if you want to push along this manifestation, clearing the solar plexus, I don't feel like you need to focus so much on the throat chakra, because I feel like that's just going to come along with your solar plexus chakra healing. Ooh, I don't know why. Sorry, I'm getting a message. I feel called to talk about the trees. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree. Another thing that you can do if you do it at night, if you don't want your neighbors to see, who cares? But you can go out and talk to a tree. They're ancient, they have roots, they have different systems, their messages can travel in the wind. Sometimes just not holding the energy of those fears. It's like telling telling your problems to a tree, talking to a tree, putting your hand on a tree, and you don't even have to say it out loud, but even in your mind, like telling the tree what's going on, what your fears are. It's also a good time to talk to your spirit guides, whoever you work with. That can really help because nature is here to support you. Your spirit guides are here to support you. Your physical body will bring structure if you do exercise, but I feel like getting outside, doing something outside is going to be very healing, especially if it involves exercise or energy expenditure in any way. Anything else for Leo? Block out distractions, windfall of abundance. Yep. Employment change. Okay. And gratitude list. Okay, so you are shifting. This does look like you are actually going to be making moves in your life. The song Light My Fire was really distracting. You need to move, sir. Come here. Come here. You need to move. Thank you. All right, block out distractions. Your life purpose and your other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment to turn off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. That could be another reason why I talked about the cord cutting. You don't have to even cut cords with a person. It can be cord cutting with a self-belief that isn't serving you anymore. It could be cutting cords with an identity that you no longer resonate with. It could be cutting cords with toxic people, toxic patterns, anything. It's just another way of practicing detachment. Windfall of abundance. I do feel like that's coming in. I feel like the seeds that you have planted and are working on at this time will come to fruition as you transition to your next season of your life of fall and then winter. It feels like winter will be abundant and will also be surrounded by a lot of support and other people. Could even be two females. Employment change, your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. And gratitude list, counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing on gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. Normally, I do tell people to do a gratitude list at night because I feel like that's a good time when people are settling down, reflecting on the day. It's a good way to raise your vibration is to do gratitude lists. But I did see someone who has a like little notebook, just one of the little tiny ones that is like pocket size. I saw someone taking one of those out of a left chest pocket, and throughout the day, as they're thinking, writing everything that they're grateful for, gratitude, things on that in this little notebook. So that could be the idea for you here is throughout the day to keep your vibration high and to keep manifesting what you're working towards is to just keep that little the little notebook with you, and every time you think of something you're grateful for, anything that happens, any sign that you get, any angel number you get, any good thing or thing you're grateful for, just jot it down, even if it's just one word, like, eagle. Saw an eagle. Weird example that came to mind. So there you go, guys. Midnight Mystic says to talk to the trees and write down every time you see an eagle. What else for Leo? Something about 2014 is coming through. 4s also feel significant. Ooh, releasing anger. Okay. We might be getting into blockages here. I have never in a reading had so many cards fly out reverse. So we have releasing anger, nurture, and personal journey. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as a human being they are. I release the anger I feel and freeing myself and expanding to love. Nurture, personal journey, gratitude again. So this is the second gratitude message. Unique lives and release. So second card of release. Okay. I feel like these cards that came out are actually talking about where the blockages have been. I feel like holding on to anger has caused, I feel like that's actually just more about your energy and less of a specific block, but it feels like it has affected your energy in a way. And so nurturing yourself at this time is going to help with that healing, because it does feel like there's a little bit of healing that needs to happen here as you move into this and as things are starting to bloom and you're seeing abundance come from what you're working on. It does feel like you also have a release happening of maybe some things that you've held on to that you just don't need to hold anymore, because in some way they are holding you back. Yeah. It's a much longer reading than I expected. Feeling called to the charms. And for you, I feel like if there's a specific question that you have, I'm going to pull a yes or no. Interesting, that came out for Leo. Citrine, spirit quartz, intentional, self-awareness, and discernment. That is all signs, but it's the sun and the moon. Rainbow Mayanite is chakra alignment, foundation, karma, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Sun, and Pluto. Red jasper, justice, strength, stability, Aries, Scorpio, and Mars. Pink fluorite is guidance, ease, and comfort, Pisces and Mercury. Kyanite, truth, communication, clarity, Aries, Taurus, Libra, Jupiter, and Neptune. This is talking about speaking your truth. Cuts through confusion, fears, and negativity and connects you to your most authentic self, soothing the soul. So there is a little portion of this about the throat chakra and communication, but I feel like this is upcoming communication with another person. Same with Mercury coming out. I do feel like the citrine spirit quartz and the rainbow Mayanite are the most important that fell. So I'm going to read the citrine spirit quartz to you. Intentional self-awareness and discernment. A centered and empowered stone, citrine spirit quartz, asks that you take command over your life. By having clear intentions, you can begin to lead from a grounded and assertive place, giving you the results that complement your needs. Citrine spirit quartz enhances your sense of self-awareness, dissolving apprehension and self-doubt to clear a way for more confidence in your daily life. No matter what material things you may or may not possess, it is highly focused, an intelligent stone for planning and goals. And I do feel like that's what is going on here, is the planning. Rainbow Mayanite, chakra alignment, foundation, and karma. An exceptionally high vibrational crystal. Rainbow Mayanite allows you to face any challenges, karmic patterns, and pulls out the drudgery of the past that is ingrained in the energetic body. It heals emotional traumas on every level, rebuilding the foundation for a healthy supportive system from the inside out. Connecting you to your spiritual team, this crystal can guide you in seeing multiple perspectives, offering many solutions, existing in ultimate alignment with all the chakras. Rainbow Mayanite helps you step into your authentic truth. And again, that one was Leo, Virgo, Pluto, Sun, and Libra. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. I don't know if we need to get specifically advice for a closing card because I feel like there already was a lot of advice that came out. So I will get you an affirmation. Actually, I want to get you a sign and symbol. I haven't used these in a while. Oh, and the charms. Citrine. And look at that. And it's the number 4. You are now attracting success and prosperity. Allow yourself to enjoy the process. No. Back to the scarab beetle again. I love closing out with things we've already seen or talked about. The scarab beetle is a number 4 because it's a card 13. The scarab shares the power of healing, protection, and positive cycles. Let's get an angel number since I'm seeing so many 4s. Okay, what's this? 12-12 duality. 555 change. Yep, that's kind of expected here. Affirmation for that: I release all that no longer serves me as I am guided to move outside of my comfort zone and let change in. Got the 11-11, intuition, 3-3-3, potential. There we go, that's fine. It's fine. Okay, take a deep breath. Think of a question that you would like to know a yes or no about. Remember that anything in a reading is just within the energy. This is all within the energy. It can be changed. You have free will. So never take this as set in stone because things can always change. But think of a yes or no question, and I'm going to flip in 3, 2, 1. It's a no. It's a no upside down. Okay, here we go. We got the sun. So that's associated with you. We have a heart. The main thing when I see an elephant is I think of trust. Oh, wow. 2 horses. They came out together and they're looking at each other also. They look happy. They look like they're frolicking along on the move. All right, what else? We have a C with a fleur-de-lis. We have another 6 and a 4. I've already got a 6 and a 4 out. A tree of life and a clothes hanger. What else? Oh, yeah. I may separate out the letters from the rest of these charms so that I get more in one. Okay, we've got 2 keys now. And even the horse, one is bigger and smaller, and then the keys, one is bigger, one is smaller. So it makes me feel like you're doing this with someone else or will be. Yeah, the sun and the moon both came out. And then the Wheel of Fortune. The only letters I've got so far are a C and a K. Sagittarius, a U, R, M. There's some type of saw, but I heard hacksaw, a 0, and a cat. Oh, ooh. Okay, we've got V, a bike, but I saw a motorcycle. A lock, a closed like padlock, and secret. QAIE, the lovers, wrench, the world, Leo, J, I, getting something there with leap. So it feels a little bit like the Fool energy, leap of faith, maybe. But it feels like leaping into something. It feels like you're not doing it alone though, with the lovers and with all of these. It does feel like there's a partnership. You could even feel like a partnership of opposites that work well together. Good fortune is attached to it though. And it's the second time that I have felt that moon, sun and moon. So it's again tying back to the beginning of the reading. Okay, any more charms? Maybe I'll just see what came out on the bottom. Seeing something about home, someone saying hey. Saw noob, someone could be new at something, or something about this could be new. PKR, but I also got park. I'm also seeing something about I'm home. Weird. Two B's right together, two M's right together, and it says kiss sun, kiss sun. Things are repeating. It is like there's doubles of stuff. But park and hey and I am home came out pretty strong here. I did see missed kiss. Okay, that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Good luck. I hope everything works out great for you. I hope that you can get that solar plexus chakra in balance and that the seeds you're planting just continue to grow and become so abundant and beautiful for you. And it looks like you have someone with you doing that. And that's great. I'm so happy for you. And I will see you next time.